Welcome to MRU E-Learning powered by Malla Reddy University. I am Dr. Kirti, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Agricultural Economics, School of Agricultural Sciences, Malla Reddy University, Hyderabad. Today I am presenting on meaning scope of agricultural economics. Sequence of presentation is as follows. I have divided the topics into 5 components. One is agriculture, economics, agricultural economics, importance of agriculture in Indian economy, followed by reference books which you should learn. Coming to agriculture, before we study any subject, we will focus on from which term it has been derived. So, the word agriculture is derived from Latin word agere and cultura, which means soil cultivation. This emphasizes that agriculture is a study of how we cultivate crops through soil management. Then, coming to actual definition of agriculture, agriculture is an art as well as science of growing crops as well as rearing livestock. So we have to be very clear in this aspect. So agriculture is defined as an art and science of growing crops and rearing livestock. So now let us come to the concept of economics. Economics is derived from Greek word oikonomikos, in which oikos means household, nomos means management. So in a nutshell, it studies that how we manage the household. So Adam Smith is regarded as father of economics. Let us come to the definition of economics. Economics is a science that deals with production. Production means how we use the resources and how we produce the products. Exchange means what we give to others in order to get what we don't have. And consumption of various commodities. Consumption is what we use in economic systems. So economics is science that deals with production, exchange and consumption of various commodities in economic systems. It shows how scarce resources can be used to increase wealth and human welfare. Here we focus on how we can increase the wealth as well as how we can improve the welfare of human beings. The central focus of economics is on scarcity of resources and choices among their alternative uses. So economics as a subject, different economists have studied economics and they have given different dimensions of economics. What I meant to say is in which angle they have seen the subject economics. So they have seen economics from wealth angle, welfare angle, scarcity angle as well as growth angle. So these popular definitions given by several economists, we call this as definitions of economics. So in simple, we call as wealth definition of economics, welfare definition of economics, scarcity of definition of economics as well as growth definition of economics. So wealth definition of economics is given by Adam Smith, welfare definition is given by Alfred Marshall, scarcity definition is given by Lionel Robbins, as well as growth definition is given by Paul A. Samuelson. Then in coming slide, we will have further idea regarding what definitions they have given as well as in which book they have quoted that. Let us come to the first definition of economics, that is wealth definition of economics. This definition is cited in the book called An Inquiry into Nature and Causes of Wealth of Nations. What they defined is economics is a science of wealth. Then he explained how nations' wealth is created. He considered that the individual in the society wants to promote only his gain and in this is led by invisible hand to promote the interest of the society, though he has no real intention to promote the society's interest. Now, one thought will come. What is invisible hand? Invisible hand does not mean that hand which is not visible. Invisible hand means there is no central system that monitors all the economic activities. To say in very simple terms, suppose I have a bakery, let us take I have a bakery. I am producing bread. Especially I am producing bread for the purpose of getting profit. But what happens is, meanwhile, it will serve the other people who want bread. This is the main thing we have to be very clear in these aspects also. Then second definition is welfare definition. Welfare definition is given in the book Principles of Economics, where he defined economics as political economy, means economics seen from angle of politics. As per welfare definition, economics is a study of mankind in the ordinary business of life. It examines that part of individual and social action which is most closely connected with the attainment and with the use of material requisites of well-being. Here, what this definition mainly emphasized is how economics is applicable in day-to-day business of life. Scarcity definition. Scarcity definition is given by Lionel Robbins in a book, An Essay on Nature and Significance of Economic Science in the year 1932. According to him, economics is a science that studies human behavior as a relationship between ends and scarce means which have alternate uses. Here we have to observe few terms. Here they have brought human behavior centric approach. Here they have seen economics from point of view how human behaves. So that to quantify relationship between the ends and scarce means. Ends means goals. Scarce means through which we attain the goals. Then growth definition of economics. Growth definition of economics, as I told in the previous slide, it is given by Paul Samuelson. He defines economics as a study of how men and society choose with or without the use of money to employ scarce productive resources which could have alternate uses to produce various commodities over time and distribute them for consumption now and in future among various people and groups of society. Then scope of economics. Scope of economics is broadly categorized into three subcomponents. One is subject matter of economics. Second is whether economics is an art or science. Then positive economics and normative economics. Subject matter of economics. In subject matter of economics, usually we study what to produce. Economics, main role of economics is to decide what to produce and how to produce. What to produce, how to produce and for whom we need to produce. If we produce anything, we need to have we need to be very clear on how to produce and to whom we should produce. If we are very clear regarding whom we should produce, it improves the economic activities. Then economics is an art as well as science. Suppose poverty is a problem you take. If poverty is a problem, then one of the solution is giving income. Can give income through direct benefit transfer or through giving some other materials and all. So here, in order to address the problem of poverty, an economist should think from art as well as science perspective. Then third component is positive normative economics. Positive economics is completely objective. It is concerned with way economic relationships are present, limited to cause and effect relations based on facts. Positive economics studies what actually it is, what it is. It is based on facts. The normative economics studies way that economic relations ought to be. Normative economics usually indicate that in future what need to be done, and that is based on the opinions, values. Okay, opinions, values. Here in positive economics it is based on the facts, whereas in normative economics here comes the judgments, opinions and all. Then methodology in economics. Methodology in economics means what methodology we use in order to solve the problems using different laws and principles. Here broadly we have two methods to solve the problems. First method is the deductive method. Second is inductive method. For deductive method we call analytical or abstract or a priori method. Here we study from general to particular. Example is demand analysis. In demand analysis what we usually think is as price reduces, quantity demanded increases. That is a general assumption we take. Okay, this is deductive analysis. Then in inductive or historical or realistic method, here we use the approach of particular to general, means that is based on the facts. To say in a very simple terms, there is a law called Engel's law of consumption. Engel's law of consumption is based on the Belgian data they have taken. What it indicates is as income of households increases, the consumption for necessities or food reduces. How they have come to the conclusion is by taking the data over a period of time. Based on the data, they have come to the conclusion. So that the same method they can be applied in other countries. It's tested over different countries and concluded that whether Engel's law of consumption is applicable for across different countries or not. Then agricultural economics. Agricultural economics definition. Agricultural economics is an applied field of economics in which principles of choice are applied in the use of scarce resources, such as land, labor, capital and management in farming and allied activities. Here what we should mainly think is agricultural economics is an applied field of science, means economics is a pure subject. So how we can use economics in the field of agriculture? So here what we are doing is we are applying economics subject, applying in the agriculture aspects. So here as a definition indicates, principles of choice are applied in the use of scarce resources such as land, labor, capital and management. Here in the economy in agriculture and all, everybody will not have land, labor, capital, management and all. So how we can utilize those limited resources in order to get maximum output or profit? Okay, in order to solve that problem, usually agriculture economics is a very important subject. As per Professor Gray, the science in which principles and methods of economics are applied to special conditions of agricultural industries. So this is the definition given by a definition of agricultural economics given by Professor Gray. Then importance of agriculture in Indian economy. So why agriculture is important in Indian economy? So share of agriculture sector in the national GDP is 16%. It provides employment to 46% of Indian population. Not only rural or not only who are doing farming itself, indirectly it also gives employment to the other sectors. Okay, it may be logistics or sales in other aspects and all. Then agriculture as a source of livelihood. For many of the people, agriculture is a major source of livelihood. They are exclusively dependent on agriculture for their bread and butter. Then, importance of agriculture for industrial development. For industrial development, agriculture plays a very major role. Agri-allied industries are there. Example is food industry and all. Food industries are based on the agriculture itself. If there is no food production, how food processing industry survives? Then, role of agriculture in the field of international trade. So India is a major exporter of spices and all, okay, spices and rice. India exports lot of rice to the African countries and all. Because of that, India gets lot of money and it improves the balance of trade, okay. Then it supports transportation trade. Because of agriculture, it is providing a lot of employment opportunities for transport throughout the country in international countries also. So because of agriculture, a lot of transportation also is being taken place. So this is the overall view of meaning and scope of agriculture economics. To know further about the subject, there are 3 major books. One is Agricultural Economics by Subba Reddy, Raghuram, Neelakanta Shastri and I. Bhavani Devi. Then Agricultural Marketing in India by S.S. Acharya, N.L. Agarwal. An Introduction to Agricultural Social Sciences by Subhash Chandra, Suresh Kumar, Kailash Chand, Bhairava. These are the major 3 books you can refer to have further insights into the concept. Thank you.